Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today we're going to be talking about the one and only Turbo coin, right? First thing I noticed is that we are almost at 112,000 followers, which is what we love to see, the highest we ever had. So highly recommend following them on Twitter. We can also see that we are going to have a SpaceX talk, right? It is going to be on the 15th. $100 prize pools up for the grabs. So sorry, up for grabs. Sorry for my English. Just a little tired on a 5-day water fast. This is the 5th day. So, oh, I can't wait to eat some food tomorrow. Obviously, got to ease into it. But yeah, took a challenge and I accepted it. But you know what? That doesn't matter. You know what does matter? We are 147th in the world. We are at 402 million market cap with 108 million volume. That is what we love to see. Now, I will say, ladies and gentlemen, that I do think, things are slowing down. I will dive into details in just a second. We can see that we are almost at 54,800 holders. I expect to hit 55,000 regardless of price action this week, unless, of course, it's going to be really, really bad. Now, before we jump into the turbo price action, this is what I think Bitcoin is going to be doing overall. Okay. I think Bitcoin is going to be kind of going sideways for the most part, because if we saw it last time, right, we went sideways for many days before we burst it up, right? You can see, boom. All right, if we clone it, go like this, very simple. Take this over here, boom, turn it like that. More or less something like this. It doesn't literally have to be perfect. We can see we're going up and down, up and down, up and down, and then we finally burst it out, right? We are overall very bullish with Turbo, or I mean, yes, with Turbo, but with Bitcoin, which means Turbo is going to hold generally well. So if this is going to be the case where we kind of just, range, then I do expect Bitcoin to potentially drop to 100K, which would be at the end of the day minus what, like 3%, not a big deal. And if we go to something like Turbo, look at the charts there, we can see that we have dropped below the trend line and we are trying to pull up higher, but we are most likely going to create another lower high, right? If we go like this, we can see that we did break the trend line. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we broke, and now we're kind of retesting, and now we're a little slow. Even just on the daily, right? There was a decent pullback, nothing too crazy. I do overall expect price to be going lower. I do think, if the thing is with trading, it's a game of ping pong, right? So we went up, we tried going up, and then we went down, right? We went down, we retested off of this support, and then we went back up. Now we're retesting off this trend line. And I do overall think that we will kind of go a little bit lower. I do believe so. Okay. Do I want to be proven wrong? Yes. Of course I want to be proven wrong. But we just have been losing a lot of momentum over the last little bit. And we could see actually just the weekly candle, how weak this looks. So if, let's say, hypothetically, by the end of the week, Turbo did look something like this, then 100% next week, I would expect it to drop, because this would be like a doji reverse candle showing absolute reversal signs. So there's two options that's going to play out most likely this week. Either A, we go sideways and we kind of just end up like this on a weekly candle, or B, we do start selling off, which I do think is a little bit more likely. Now, I don't think Turbo is going to drop below this range, okay? We have this range over here of the bottom, and we have this range of here of the top. I don't believe we will drop below this, right? We could do a liquidity sweep, possible retest off the support, and continue going up higher, right? If we go something like this, right, we have a nice big support zone here. So that would be my main thing for Turbo, right? I don't think we're going to go lower than that. Because like I said, if even Bitcoin dropped a couple percent, this would still be a big drop for Turbo, right? 30% is a big drop. I know we are a meme coin, so we did the ratios last time. When Bitcoin dropped 3%, we dropped 12%. Now, that it's not always going to happen like that, but just in case there is some kind of big mega pullback, this is where I would be looking to be sniping, right? Somewhere down here. Now, if things are going to be fairly weak, which we will update you anyways in a different video, then a decent buy zone would be most likely also over here at roughly the 0.005, right? That would be also a good buy zone, because what, this is most likely like 15 to Yep, 15% drop. Boom, there we go. So this would also be a pretty good buy zone. And just in terms of a discount, right? If we take it from the range high to the range bottom, right, that would be, a pretty nice discount. You would be getting boom, bang, roughly 70, 60% off from this high to this bottom. And look, people, I also am going to create another turbo video tomorrow. So make sure you watch that. Now, it is going to be like 70% turbo, but it is also going to add something else. It's just too long to talk about everything in one video, right? I'd rather just, have two 10-minute videos instead of one 20-minute one. So yeah, that is that. So make sure to tune in tomorrow. Look, overall, I do think Turbo is going to hold generally well. It is one of the most demanded meme coins and coins out there, just generally speaking. But we cannot deny the fact that it has been getting exhausted for some time, right? We have multiple wicks, multiple daily wicks, and I truly do believe this push to the upside was mainly because of Bitcoin and because of Ethereum's crazy run, right? We went from 0.0053 up to even, let's just say, this top over here of 0.0065. I do believe that was mainly because of Bitcoin and, of course, Ethereum going absolutely nuclear. So now we will look at Ethereum just for a second because there is a little bit of correlation, right? We can see that Ethereum has continued to go up, right? I drew this out for the community. I said, although we never went as high, we still tapped into a weekly order block candle. Retest off the 2400 and 2200 zone will be monitored. So we can see, right? I expected retest off the 2400 zone right over here. Got them, boom, instantly pushed up. And now we are continuing higher. Now, we did almost tap into a daily order block, so there might be a little bit sell off. The reason why I am mentioning this because we are on the Ethereum chain. I overall expect Ethereum to do pretty solid, right? At the bare minimum, I think Ethereum will go to 4100. Could go even obviously up here. I do definitely know Ethereum will sweep these highs. I think Ethereum, if Ethereum had a very bad run, would probably go to like 7 to 8K, like 7K. And that's if it had a bad run. And that obviously is not going to be the most optimal thing for us. But honestly, Turbo has done fine without Ethereum performing that well in 2024. So, even though we are on the chain and we do get a buff from it, obviously when Bitcoin and Ethereum pump, we did reach practically a billion market cap, practically starting from, if we take it from 2024, if we actually go to the market cap and go to all around, we can see 2024, we were at 24 million market cap, pretty much, right? Somewhere 24 million market cap. And we went all the way up to, this is 778. It was higher, it was like 850. So we did insane numbers. Oh, like 35x or even more, just off the top of my head, growth. So yeah, I do not think, Turbo is going to disappoint in the altcoin season and just in the meme coin sector and just generally speaking. I know this coin is going to do so well. But yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to join us on the May 15th. We also have another, like I said, Turbo video out tomorrow talking about Turbo, talking about something related to Turbo. Make sure to check out the description, especially if you want some free food. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.